came from Bandcamp. It came from Bandcamp. Anybody can upload anything they want to Bandcamp. It came from Bandcamp.
Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for one of my favorite segments on this channel, the most underground of segments on this channel, the It Came From Bandcamp, where I show you guys some of the weirdest shit that turns up on the Bandcamp platform. Yay! We have 6 records for you today, starting off with the Sonic Art Crew Sonic Art 4. This apparently is a project that is masterminded by multi-instrumentalist and composer Nathan Anthony. Obviously, it's the 4th installment of all of these records on his Bandcamp. And on this album, there are many genres coming together. I mean, everything from rock to like a little bit of musical theater, which is the case on this track that is an ode to Twitch. It's like this theatrical, dramatic, and very satirical look at the video streaming platform. Also, there is an amazing track on here titled Mighty Cunt Force, which is basically the Power Rangers theme with the lyrics switched up a little bit. Please don't DMCA this video. I have a family to feed, thank you. So this is a really fun, kooky, ridiculous record. It's really over the top. It's got a lot of personality. It's very colorful. And considering how jokey and comedic this album is, a lot of the writing and compositions are super impressive. Like, a lot of effort went into this record, despite just how ridiculous it is. So if you're looking for something that is having a lot of fun, something that in a lot of ways is a joke, but a very intricate and well-groomed joke, then look this record up. Moving on, this next project is a bit of a, I don't know, kind of grind, spazzy, experimental rock project called Kukashka. This is a really odd record, if you couldn't already tell from the cover art. There are elements of grind on this thing, like I said, but also experimental punk, and it's obviously a little comedic. You know, these guys are purposely being as weird as possible, and succeeding. So if you want to hear some very herky, jerky, completely wild and out of control rock music that's recorded a little rough and is very freaky, especially on the vocal end of things, give this thing a listen. It's an oddball. You're gonna come away at least entertained or very weirded out. Let's give a listen to this next project over here. Just a clip of it, Don't DMCA me, please, for the love of Jesus Christ. That piece is 35 minutes long. This is a one long track, or rather an album, from these guys. They're Dutch. Their name is Dead Neanderthals. They're pretty prolific. They refer to themselves as like a new wave of Dutch heavy jazz. There are elements of free improvisation in their music, drone in their music, and they do emphasize that word heavy. They live up to that word. They don't just throw it in there. It means something. Now, this project is not strictly a Dead Neanderthals project. It's placed under the name of Krishna, which apparently is an ongoing collaboration between Dead Neanderthals and an artist named Drug Culture, with a V instead of a U. Actually, all V's instead of U's in that whole name, Drug Culture. And from what I'm hearing so far in this piece, it's very dense, it's very heavy, it's very powerful. It's like jazz music that is so progressive, so ahead of the curve that it sounds like it's coming, I don't know, 50 years from the future or something like that. It's like UFO jazz. If you dig this, believe me, there's a lot more where this came from on the Dead Neanderthals Bandcamp down there in the description, so enjoy. Now, this next one from the album cover over here, you can see, which we have lovingly blurred out a bit of it. You could tell this band, they like to have fun. The band, of course, is Rodent Blowjob Holocaust, and the record is Anal Lacerations from Brutal Butt Sex. And of course, we see a Superman totally reaming Batman just the way it should be, and the band's logo is just a fucking squiggle on top of another squiggle. And these guys are some disgustingly just disturbing porno grind and gore grind. Check out the names of these guys. They're a trio. Here's their names, because obviously you can't be in a band like this and your stage name is Fred, unless your stage name is like Fred Phelps. That would be a pretty funny porno grind stage name. But here are their names. We have Bundy Blumpkin. We have Ass Eater. Don't forget the dash in between the both of them. And my personal favorite, my personal favorite, my favorite out of the three, my favorite out of the three of them, I will finally say it right here, is for the final time, my favorite out of these three guys is Mr. Fuck It and Suck It. Here is a clip from the Summer Smash, which you will hear on the radio in the coming months. Elderly Inbreeding. Basically, blood cake guitars and vocals that sound like the tail end of a really long toilet flush. And if you give this record a listen, also expect hits such as Vaginal Butcher Knife Blasting, a JFK assassination photobomb, and Bukkake on a Burn Victim. Moving on, we have a Bandcamp artist who miraculously got what looks like an MTV Unplugged album over here. How'd you swing that, buddy? What? The artist is Concave Onion, and this is like a bunch of weird acoustic cuts that all say live in the title. I don't know who he's playing these songs live to. They might have been recorded like live in one take. That definitely sounds like it is the case. But I don't know if you can have a live track if you don't like have an audience there to experience the performance. I can't quite tell if all of these songs are covers or if just some of them are covers or just kind of like weird renditions of tracks. Some of them are quite bad, but it seems like there's an element of being tongue-in-cheek here, like it's purposefully goofy and weird. There is an amazing kind of semi-acoustic take of Ziggy Stardust on this thing, but the title has been flipped into Ziggy Sawdust. For the love of God, don't DMCA me, please. Please don't. Just don't. I'm just sharing a little music here. I'm sorry. Okay, some of what's on here, it's definitely original. It's just that it's kind of hard to tell because it seems like he's picking up some ideas and then twisting them so weirdly that they kind of become original anyway, even if they are like a cover. All I know is this thing is weird as hell, and that's a good thing. And finally, we're going to be talking about the project Kel Valhall from the one, the only Hunter Hunt Hendricks of liturgy fame. Now, instead of making really abrasive and strangely symphonic black metal, he has turned his sights on some electronic music on this project over here, and he has given this thing a lovely title, New Introductory Lectures on the System of Transcendental Kabbalah. Now, as far as electronic music goes, this is pretty strange. It's really layered, it's very dense, it's got some weird compositional ideas, but some of these ideas to me sound like something that could have made it onto a liturgy record. It's just that the synth timbres are very different from the brittle, shining, very bright guitars that you would typically hear in a mix on a liturgy record. Some of what's here is super glitchy and strange. I've heard people crapping on this record left and right, but there are actually some interesting compositional ideas on this thing. Also, I will make the statement, and this is a totally true statement, listen here, okay? If you hate this record, listen in. If Dan Deacon dropped this record after he put out the song Crystal Cat all those years ago, people be going apeshit over this fucking thing. Most definitely some abstract moments on this thing. Maybe it's a little more abrasive and harsh and kind of tinny than I would like it to be, which was definitely the case with Liturgy's last record as well. But still, this thing was intriguing, and I guess an interesting piece of what I'm sure is canon for the long, conceptual, overarching, I don't know what, that Hunter is trying to create with all of these records between this one and Liturgy and so on and so forth, because this one as well features a really odd piece of cover art which, you know, talks about here in this little diagram that you can see behind me, we have ports, rays, shells, beams, gates, circles, and valves. And this kind of stuff also turns up in similarly obtuse diagrams like in Liturgy's cover art. Like on their record, my favorite record of theirs, Aesthetica. So, you know, maybe one day Hunter and I'll take the guy on a date and I'll get the opportunity to, you know, sort of pick his brain about all these diagrams and all this transcendence and all that stuff. But, you know, in the meantime, the music is chin-scratching and enjoyable. And that's going to be it for this episode of It Came From Bandcamp. All that stuff, all of it, linked down there in the description. If you want to check out any of these records, please do. They're really strange, they're adventurous, they're creative. Again, nobody who made any of this music, please don't take this video down. Please don't take down my YouTube channel. I'm just trying to talk about your music, turn some of my fans onto your shit. Didn't mean nothing by it. And if you guys remember, if you enjoy any of this music, buy this shit from these artists, because they're sort of doing it independent. They're up on Bandcamp. They could use support for the art that they're creating. Don't be a scumbag and just, like, you know, pay $0.00 for the music on their Bandcamp. You know, give them a little something. Give them a little something, something. Ugh. And we're going to leave it at that. So, thanks for watching. You're the best. Transition. Have you given these things a listen? If you haven't, you should. Also, over here next to me, we have some links to the previous It Came From Bandcamp video. You can also check out the It Came From Bandcamp playlist, where you can see all the It Came From Bandcamp videos. And just keep a lookout in the future in your subscription box for this segment, because I love doing it, and I love being able to turn you guys on to some of these artists on the Bandcamp platform. Cool. Cool. Forever.